Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm LBJ. You're there and I'm here, and you're listening to The Heartfelt Truth. Welcome. Let me start off by saying, as I always do, that I hope my voice finds you in good health, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Not necessarily in that order, but all equally important to help us through this thing we call life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me jump right into it. Let me say thank you for allowing me to come into your life for the next few minutes. I hope you find my voice somewhat inspirational, a little motivational. It just gives you another way of looking at things. And with that being said, listen, let's just start off right here. On today's show, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about my recent day trip that I took with some family and friends to New York City, and I'll get into that. And these fine people that I actually met, one from the West Coast and one from the Midwest, I would believe, one LA and one Chicago. And we'll get into that in a minute. And in the middle of this thing, we're going to revisit something that I put out before, and that is going to be about fear and motivation. And last but not least, there's going to be a little special treat here at the holiday season coming in. I want to give you a little something, a little insight, and perhaps even give you a recipe, which is not mine, by the way. But I did have the pleasure of purchasing the cookbook from this very, very fine woman who I had the pleasure of meeting many years ago, following her recipe for years. And we'll get into that with the holiday season coming in, Thanksgiving. I think a little off the beaten path, what you can do is you can take that advice and you can take that recipe and you can surprise your family. So let's get right into it. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend I went over to New York City, being from the tri-state area, and some family and some friends, and we decided, let's just do something different today. And what we did was we went to New York City. And I am not going to lie to you, it was, when you get into New York City, during the holiday season, there is just such a vibe. And it was a really nice thing to do. And you know what? Now, hear me out here, because in the next 2 or 3 weeks, the city is going to be mobbed. There are going to be so many people that come into the city who want to go to Rockefeller Center, who want to go and see the windows at Macy's, all those things, and it's going to be mobbed. And it is, and justifiably so. I've done it for years, but I went in a little early this year, before Thanksgiving, and it was just such a pleasant trip. I got to see the tree. It's not lit up, so the process that they're going through to put the tree together for the big tree lighting ceremony, which I believe, let me get it correct, is right after Thanksgiving. So that should be interesting. And it's on TV. You can check your local listings for that and find out exactly. It's a big celebration TV, the whole deal. I hope the weather's nice. The one year they had rain. Pretty horrible, but they weathered the storm. So I went into the city, and I will tell you this, and this is what the holiday season does. And I'm serious. I really believe that in this life, people come in your path and you talk to people and you meet people. I like talking to people. So as my family and friends drifted off, I ran into a lovely couple from California. And I don't know their last name, so it actually makes out really well. So I don't, cross any boundaries. But Mark and Kelly, they were from California. Kelly was here for the first time in New York City, and they were having a fabulous time. I enjoyed the conversation. I really like talking to nice people. Then there was another couple that were on a day trip and a day date, which I tried to explain to my wife. I said, listen, that's not a bad idea. They came in from Chicago. They came to Rockefeller Center, and they were sitting down, and they were having a nice cup of hot chocolate or coffee, and they were just soaking in the vibe of Rockefeller Center, which was absolutely fabulous. And I got to talk to them, and it was just that's what the holidays do. You really meet nice people, so you have to be open and receptive to nice people. And and I thought about this too. My family were teasing me. Listen, I'm not saying don't talk to anybody. I don't put anybody down. You got to be careful. You got to be safe. You tell your kids don't talk to strangers. But we're adults, and we can kind of figure it out a little bit. I don't advise any children talking to strangers. But as adults, you meet nice people. And it was just such a pleasant vibe. So I really do. I want to give a shout out to Kelly and Mark and Grant and Apollonia from Chicago. So listen, guys, if you fell in on the podcast and you were here at Rockefeller Center, hats off to you. My pleasure to meet you. By all means, please reach out for me. You can go to Facebook, Twitter, the whole nine, and just drop me a message and let me know that you heard this podcast, and that would be absolutely great. I believe I gave you guys my business card, so please, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out and subscribe. And you guys have a great holiday. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you can do if you want to, I put up a few pictures, really not descriptive in terms of the whole idea, but you get a sense of Rockefeller Center. Go to my Twitter account or my Facebook, The Heartfelt Truth, LBJ, and you should be able to see some of those photos. Really, really nice, a lot of fun, family and friends. I went out to eat. It was just a really, really nice day. And I'm going to say it. I hope he doesn't mind. My dear friend, you heard me talk about him before, Sean Oliver. He has some fantastic work out. Check him out on Twitter. Him and his family, we enjoyed the day in New York City, and it was absolutely fabulous. My pleasure to hang out with those guys. And you know what? Staying with the theme of the conversation, I know in the middle of this thing I said I wanted to mention and revisit something that I talked about, which we can do at another time in terms of motivation and fear of the unknown. If you get any chance, you want to go back and listen to that, and then I'll put out another segment to that. But what I want to do is staying with the holiday season. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, some years ago, I had the pleasure of going to a restaurant in New York City, uptown actually, and the name of the restaurant is Sylvia's. Now, I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. If you are, kudos to you. If you haven't, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. This woman, she was from Harlem, and she started this soul food restaurant, and fabulous. I went there on a trip with some students, and we went to do a trip in New York City, and I met this woman, and she was just such a lovely, lovely woman, and she had this cookbook. And after sitting down and dining at her restaurant, I had no choice but to buy this recipe, this book, loaded with recipes from her restaurant. And I have actually been using this, me and my family, for years, and following it to the letter. And I am telling you, with the holiday season here, ladies and gentlemen, if you had this book and you wanted to surprise your family and pick a meal and just even a dessert, and people say, "You made this? Who? Oh my God, it's just absolutely fabulous." So you got to try it out. And real quick, I want my sisters and my family to understand there are a number of great recipes that I picked up from my mother that I still use. So, Mom, no disrespect to Mom, and I'm sure she understands. But this woman here, Sylvia's Soul Food, is recipes from the world famous restaurant in Harlem. Was absolutely fabulous. So if you get a chance, check it out. I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to give you a recipe. You can go online and check out the book. Again, Sylvia's Soul Food, recipes from Harlem's world famous restaurant, Sylvia Woods and Christopher Styler. I'm not going to go verbatim on a recipe. Check it out. Fabulous. I will say this. Let me just go in here, and I want to show you something. Well, not actually show you. I want you to hear this. They have one section in here that actually is just desserts. And look at this peach cobbler, pie pastry, sweet potato pie, hello, apple pie, lemon meringue pie. They teach you how to make a pie shell, 3-layer caramel cake, icing, Last one, pound cake, golden coconut cake. You go banana nut bread. Oh, I got to put the book down. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's the holiday season, and staying with that mantra, I hope everybody has a good holiday. I'm sure I'm going to put something back out again before the holidays, but I just wanted to share that with you. And the holidays are close by. I mean, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if I don't put anything out up to that point, enjoy the holidays. You and your family, please. It's important. It really is, because family is important. So that's all we got for today. But ladies and gentlemen, listen, please, as I always say, take care of yourself. Take care of your families, because family is important. And as always, especially this time of year, I challenge you right now, during the holiday season, do something special for someone in need. I believe in my heart of hearts, this one act really will make the world a better place. And it's going to be one of those things that help you on your journey to becoming the best person that you were meant to be. So help make somebody's day this holiday season. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm LBJ. You're there, and I'm here. And you've been listening to The Heartfelt Truth. We'll talk again.